You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your preparation. Welcome back to another Run For Not From. As you may have gathered, that this week we are talking about preparation, and it's fitting that I'm showing you the work that I do for each of these videos before I even start filming. You know, I plan the routes, I look at the content, I find the quote, I source that, I then start memorizing the lines, and then I look for an order at which I want to do things, because I think it's really important to note that preparation is the source of power for a lot of things, and it can even be sort of like masquerading as intelligence, because the more prepared you are, the more intelligent you look, and that's a really important thing. So I know we're starting a bit unconventionally for hashtag Run For Not From, but let's get out there, let's get running, and let's continue with the video. Okay, so we are back in more familiar surroundings for hashtag Run For Not From, but I thought it was important to show, even with something like this, there's a lot of preparation that goes involved, and that's the meaning of this video. Preparation and the power that it gives you. So if you're new to hashtag Run For Not From, I'll give you a little backstory about what it is. For about 22 weeks now, I think this is the 21st video, I'll work it out in a bit, we go on a run where we carve out some time for ourselves, for me, for you, and we think about problems in our lives and issues that we might be having, and we talk about them positively, proactively, and we look for solutions. Those solutions might be talking to someone, it might be even writing things down, it might be coming back and watching one of these lovely videos. But what's really important is that it's you time, and it's outdoors and it's moving. It could be cycling, could be running, could be walking, could be anything. But you're carving out that time, especially for you. It's so important. I do it at the same time each and every week. On a Wednesday, that's when I do it. Whatever time it is, has to happen on a Wednesday. If it means I stay up a bit later, if it means I get up a little bit earlier, I do it. Because this is my time. And this is time where I get to chat with you and communicate and vent and hopefully create a little bit of a community along the way. So this week we're talking about preparation and how it can give you amazing power. One thing I forgot to mention is hashtag Run For Not From is not about time, it's not about distance, there's no barriers to entry. You do whatever you want to do. I don't talk about the time I run, I don't talk about the distance. None of that is important. It's just about getting out and doing something for this. Because this can be your best friend or it can be your worst flipping enemy. Here's something that I unfortunately learned the hard way. Preparation is not a life hack. It's a form of self-respect. It's having that dignity in yourself. By preparing for something, what you're internally saying is, my goals are worth showing up for, and my targets are achievable and possible. On the other hand, a lack of preparation can lead to chaos. It can lead to scrambling around, and it can even lead to shame spirals. And by preparing, you're actually making room for a calm and steady mind. I spoke about it a little bit in the introduction, but preparation can often be confused and it can be masquerading as intelligence. In a lot of lines of work, just by being the most prepared person in the room, people start thinking you're the most intelligent person in the room. And that's a dangerous and powerful place to be. If you're someone who works in sales or in product development, knowing the specifications of your product or your service can be the difference between you getting promotion, can be the difference between you getting your sales targets, your projections, your quarterly growth, your business profits. It's so important to prepare, because when you prepare, you're not just preparing for a task, You are a person with intention. You're leaving space for power. You're leaving space for growth. Okay, so what did I mean before when I said I learned the hard way about a lack of preparation? And I've spoken on this channel before about my experiences with exams. I'm not the best at exams for sure. I've got much better over time, but I like to talk about my GCSEs and even my first year of A-levels, because I did very, very poorly. I didn't study, I didn't revise, I didn't see the value in it, I didn't care, and I didn't prepare. And I paid the price. I had two very disappointed parents, as much as they like to say that they weren't. They still obviously loved me incredibly. And I was very upset with myself because it wasn't reflective of my internal capabilities. But what was the reasons for not preparing in that instance? I certainly wasn't busy. I was a 15, 16-year-old kid. I had nothing going on. All I had was school and sports and working out, and that hardly takes up all your time. But perhaps it was just procrastination, not caring a little bit about the products, about the program, about the lessons. I just didn't have an interest in them, and I certainly wasn't mature enough to understand the value in these exams, and it bit me in the butt. And from that experience, every time I've given 100% and really given it my all and prepared in advance, I've managed to move mountains. I've managed to show people how intelligent I am. And that's one thing that does play back on me. In my immaturity, I didn't see the importance of preparation because it's not glamorous. In fact, sometimes it's boring and it's tedious. And if I was to do a YouTube video on preparation, it would get even less views than this video is going to get, because you're sat down, you're writing, you're reading, you're listening, and that is all. That's all preparation is: research and learning. Now let's talk about how you're going to get more prepared, going to set yourself up for preparation greatness. And here's my 5 little tips for you to start doing right here, right now. Number 1 and number 2 go hand in hand. And the first one is prepare your environment. Basically, it means have an environmental cleanup. Tidy the flat, the house, the room, the office, whatever it is, you need to tidy it up. Clear your mind of these distractions. And then part 2, you're going to start creating preparation rituals. The only things you're going to leave out is the stuff that you need. Gym bag on the floor, running shoes at the end of the bed, dishwasher soap by the sink, so you know that you can be prepared to do things, so the place is clean, so you have no excuses to get what you need to do done. Number 3, start asking yourself some better questions. Take ownership of stuff. What can I do to improve this? What can I do to prepare a little bit better? Number 4, now this one's very interesting. Make sure you're booking in time for rest time and free time. Those are 2 very different things. Rest time and free time. Free time is you're available to see people, you're available to go out, you're available to do that. It's open time that has not yet been booked. Rest time is dedicated rest. That time is specifically for you to recover mentally, physically, emotionally, whatever it may be. That is rest time, and it's very, very valuable time. It's not wasting time, it's recovery and rest time. And 5th and final is a bit of a wild goose chase, because for the 5th one, you need to be a little bit prepared to prepare yourself. So you need to start visualizing future challenges. Why is it important to do that? Why are you thinking in the future? Shouldn't we be thinking in the now? Because what you're going to do is you're going to identify those future challenges, and you're also going to identify a way of solving them, a way of fixing them, so they no longer control you and create problems for yourself. We are nearing the end of this week's hashtag Run For Not From about preparation, but I've got us just enough time for the newest segment of the run, which is the quickfire run reflections, as well as that lovely quote of the week, which we will never ever forget about. The quickfire run reflections are 1, 2, 3, sometimes a few more questions that I want you to pause the video and genuinely think about. I don't want you to Google the answers. I don't want you to ask anyone else. It's for your self-reflection. So after each one, pause it, have a little think. Maybe you can leave it in the comments, but it's mainly for you. Question number 1, where in my life am I winging it and it's costing me? Question number 2, where in my life can I start preparing just 10% better? Question number 3, who do I become when I start preparing with purpose? Question number 4, and this one's so important, I've actually stopped running. Are you building habits that is going to make future you proud? I think a lot of people do the woulda, coulda, shoulda sort of thing and think, oh, if back then I started practicing or preparing or studying or revising, I'd be in so much a better position now. And they forget that they can start right now, and in a year's time they'll be just where they wanted to be. It's all good looking back retrospectively. You need to start taking action now. Will future you be proud? Will you look back in 6 months, 6 years and go, I'm really glad I started doing that. I'm really glad I started filming stuff. I'm really glad I started learning piano. I'm really glad I started saving. I'm really glad I started paying my mortgage off a little bit quicker. Things like that add up, they compound over time. Will you make future you proud of the habits you're building today? Thank you so much for watching, guys. It's been such a pleasure filming this video and all the previous weeks as well, and I hope you've enjoyed. So please do like and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok. It's all under Nathan Shaw Life. And do leave a comment for some of those questions, because I want to start building a community. Because here at hashtag Run For Not From, we don't run to avoid pressure, we prepare to handle it. We don't run from the unknown, we prepare to face it. We don't run from chaos, we prepare for the calm. And that leads us on perfectly to this week's quote of the week. Thank you so much. Subscribe, like, comment, and I'll see you next week. And what better place to stop for this week's quote of the week than one of the many vacant pubs in the UK. If you know St Albans, this is the Hollybush, an area that I run around quite a lot. I've been to birthday parties here, I've been for Sunday roasts here, and unfortunately, with the passage of time, it seems to have closed down. But this week's quote comes from Les Brown, and he's a person that I didn't know much about 2 years ago. But in those 2 years, he's really caused a bit of a cornerstone in my life. He's one of the main reasons why I started doing these videos. He's a motivational speaker and a politician. I mainly listen to his motivational speeches. He's got such a way with words, and he's very charismatic and draws you in. And his quote today is all about taking those opportunities and being prepared. It's better to be prepared and not have an opportunity than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. Let me know what you think.